Good evening, everybody. All right, the expected weakness that we've been kind of looking for based upon the fact that the Dow was gapping up in the overbought condition has started to show up with a little bit of selling today in the Dow, but here's the big one, the left-right combo bearish uh, movement in the Nasdaq, big bearish engulfing. Thank you, Gwen. Yes, a lot better, except for the fact that I went up to homecoming at Cornell this weekend just to see a few buddies up there, and did see my first actual safe zone. Oh, I was so pleased. AJ, a left-right combo is a doji, in this case followed by a bearish engulfing signal. That combination is called a left-right, indecisive jab, big roundhouse right. No, I forgot to take the milk and cookies. But I've always got the great pleasure of seeing a crying room someday. Oh, that'd be fun. And coloring books, yep. No. So anyways, and then we had the transportation index, which also got soggy, doing kind of a dark cloud. So it's just not a great, I would kind of anticipate that we're going to start seeing some sell-off. We did recommend it, ABEO today. Had lots of evidence. We had the doji gap up through the T line off the 50, and then positive trading today. And now, when the market gets kind of soggy like this, especially the Nasdaq, we know there's probably going to be some selling. It may not be a full-scale reversal, but there might be a pullback. Yep. So that pretty much tells you, John, that they were selling across the board. But right now, doing a quick scan, you can scan for the sectors just as easy as you can scan for stocks. So one of the sectors that was showing strong selling was the toy sector. So you can kind of see there was a gap down. So Mattel would be a good short if it opens weaker tomorrow. And we saw that weakness also in Hasbro with a big gap down. So that one can be sold. Yeah, and I think the oils were weak. They were getting weaker. But as you can see, oil prices are kind of sideways, not going anywhere. On the other side of the coin, the retailers, clothing stores. That's why we went after ABEO. So you can tell that this is what they're buying. This is Abercrombie Fitch. Yeah, notice your dojis and curling back up. Where's your next likely target? Probably back up into that trend channel. So there was lots of the retail clothing stores. Here's Finish Line, also setting up very nicely. So the reason we can show a lot of good stocks in here, or not the reason, but the actuality of seeing a lot of good stocks all in one sector pretty much gives you a good indication that that sector is being bought across the board. What did I just do? Dix. The gap can be bought on positive trading tomorrow. Same scenario. They bounced off the 50, and this is where the visual of what type of signals are occurring at a support level, like indecisive dojis, gives you a lot more clarity that there's going to be a reversal. And here's a scoop type pattern over in Genesco. Oh, I don't even know if Genesco, is that a retailer? Maybe I used the wrong spot. And here's Guess, another one that can be bought on positive trading. And CAL, also going into a J-hook type pattern. So you can pretty much scan for which sectors are acting the strongest or the weakest. Now, the biggies, like Amazon, this is why it's so important to see what is actually happening versus what you think should be happening. We can tell from this bearish engulfing signal with a booster and then a gap down that we stay short until we see a buy signal to close back up above the T-line. Netflix came out with great earnings, but you can see what happened the next day. After trading up in this area after hours, this is where the big money was buying and selling. Now, what you have to kind of anticipate is, and I've done this many times myself, unfortunately, is when I see something, I say, oh man, that's great. It's going to be moving big. I'm just happier than a pig in doo-doo that my calls are going to work out great. And then when they start trading down here, you've got to ask yourself, why is it trading down here versus what you would expect? That means somebody that's probably a lot closer to the knowing what's going on in that sector or that stock is making decisions based upon something less obvious than what we're looking at or what everybody's looking at. So once we traded below the T-line, now what becomes the obvious? You stay short until you see a buy signal. NVIDIA was holding up well most of the day. But started sagging. Apple, gap down, hasn't been able to get back up above the T-line. Wouldn't be long this one and would probably be apt to go short on any weakness. Don't usually pull up Walmart, but Walmart's chart is very good as far as a J-hook pattern. And notice how what started wave one, a hammer doji gap up. Oh, Apple's earnings are tomorrow? I didn't know that. Yep, Paul, you can, Walmart earnings also? Okay. Yep, you can scan on any time frame that you want. Tesla, another biggie with a little kicker signal right here. Bearish kicker. Next target should be here and or the 200 based upon the bottom of this channel. All right, some charts that are looking good. SPWR. There's your hammers. Back up. This one can be bought with the anticipation you could have a 15, 17% move back up to the moving averages. Let's see. This one should have been, the semiconductors was another sector that's acting well. So you got STM that did a bullish doji sandwich gap out. That tells me that's probably got a good run to it. And NPTN scoop type pattern makes this very simple. You can see the scoop, the handle, the scoop, starting from your inverted hammer, doji. Now you're at a resistance level, which is also corresponds with the handle. Makes this very simple. If they open this positive, you're in a scoop pattern breakout. Now it becomes a much better probability that you're going to see things move strong to the upside. AMBA, kicker signal right here, J-hook pattern. This one can be bought on positive trading. And things like diode, same scenario. If you didn't buy in here, now would you buy at the high? Definitely, because you can see it's coming out of a J-hook pattern. Another J-hook pattern with a starting with a doji sandwich. NTLA. You can buy this one on positive trading because you can see the pattern and you can see what signal is starting that next move to the upside. Juno, same scenario, a little slow curve. If it breaks out through this level, I got a good strong run to it because now you've changed the investor sentiment. And Echo, another doji sandwich, J-hook pattern, bobble breakout. Just makes for a high probability trade setup. Ball, J-hook pattern. Notice how they started wave 3 with some gap ups. That tells you there's probably some very good enthusiasm coming in. And we've been using this one, FBR, because you can see the clear illustration of a bullish Harami, smack dab off the 50, followed by a gap up, strong move, and when it was a time to take profits, when we started seeing a gap up in the overbought condition, a good distance away from the T-line, and they brought it back down through the open, that told us they were probably bringing it back down to the T-line. But notice what happened here at the T-line, starting back up. So you get ready to buy this one on positive trading tomorrow. HAE, this is a bullish flutter kicker starting another wave to the upside. So that one can be bought on positive trading. And this is Meritage Homes, another J-hook pattern also setting up. So lots of good patterns still. Just that you probably won't be as aggressive or shouldn't be as aggressive going after the longs, or if you're heavily long and starting to liquidate, you might be thinking more of going short. There's your huge evening star signal. Where's the next likely target? Still down here, which from this level up here was going to give you about a 60%, 70% profitability on the short side. And MRTX, see what's happened here. Your evening star signal, kind of almost a bearish scoop pattern. Get ready to short this one on weakness, because that one, if it starts selling off after the big evening star signal, where's your next likely target? Probably back down here, which is also corresponding with your 50-day moving average. The oil stocks have been trading weaker. Whoops. You can see the pattern. There's a dumpling top. There's your bearish doji sandwich. Definitely get ready to short this one on weakness tomorrow. And RENN, the bigger the signal, the more compelling there's been a change. This is your bearish engulfing signal with the booster. Bearish engulfing signal like in Amazon with the booster. Tells you there was a definite change of investor sentiment, and they traded it all the way up here and then slammed it back down. That tells you they're trying to get out with a great hurry. Whoops. RGNX. Left-right combo. This one's probably heading lower on weakness. MBI. What type of pattern setting up? Wave 1, wave 2, bearish J-hook pattern. Could take you a good percentage down. Apache, another oil stock. Bearish J-hook pattern in progress. Skyworks. Next likely target, probably the 50-day moving average. That could be one target. This is one of those where when you can see the obvious uptrend, put your Fibonacci retracement numbers. There's one spot. There's a second spot right on the 50. There's your 62% retracement. So are we targeting those areas? No, we're just seeing if it hits one of those areas and produces a buy signal, that's probably the place to short positions. And XON, another bearish and J-hook pattern, breaking this level. Wave 1, wave 3, bringing you down into this area. So right now, with the market being a little bit iffy, after gapping up in the overbought area, remember, we kept warning that when you saw these gap ups here, get ready to start taking some profits. All right, that's about all I got tonight. Well, that was a quickie. Or are there any general questions on candlesticks? Remember, November 4th and 5th, for anybody that hasn't gone through a 2-day training, that is one where you want to get definitely sit through. It's well worth your time and efforts to see everything in a chronological order. I know we've got a lot of new people that come and see the major signals every week on Tuesday, but now we're going to put it all in order so that you're going to kind of get the overlap of psychology from one signal to the next, using all the confirming indicators to help to put all those pieces together. Let's see. When is it too late to buy a J-hook? When it's already started. If I'm buying a J-hook, there's two places to buy. Right in here with the anticipation, there's your first target. Or you can buy right above that level, which means your profitability is going to be smaller, but your probability is going to be that much greater. Yes, a gap down in the oversold area works on the same basis of where do most people sell. They panic sell at the bottom. So when you see a gap down in the oversold area, you start looking for a buy signal. Oh, I just didn't do the S&P 500 because it usually it did a bearish engulfing signal today, so it's showing the same weakness. When you put in buy stop orders, do you put buy stop market? No, buy stop market. Because if it comes back through the level you want to be stopped out, more than likely it's not going to all of a sudden hit 1 penny above your stop and then gap way down, it's going to come down through your stop. So, and you don't want to be stuck in a position that's heading south rapidly because it didn't hit. Stop limit means if a stock, you put your stop at 50 with a limit of selling at 50, if that stock comes down to $50.02, and then the next order is at $49.98, well, you can't sell yours you can't stop out at 50, so it can go from $49.98 right on down to wherever, 42, and you're still in it because it wasn't able to close you out at $50. So if it comes down to a level that you think it shouldn't be trading, just get out. That's you don't care about what price is at that point. Oh, let me see. I'll see if Abe has that link. My stochastics are set at 12.33 on my swing traders, and that seems to have worked out the best. Herb, anytime we're doing a, remember, there's Elliott wave, but Elliott wave has wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, sometimes wave 6 and 7, and then an ABC retracement. Sometimes it does that. So Elliott wave isn't very concise, but there's one important factor that we got from Elliott wave, and that was that prices move in waves. So if this is wave 1, this is wave 2, I anticipate wave 3 to be the same magnitude as wave 1. Once it gets to the end of that, then we see what type of things it's doing from that point. Okay. I am now putting in, here's, I guess, a link for the members pricing. When you want to buy a stock that has a big jump during the day and you flip to the 10-minute chart, when is your entry? If it's still trading, if this was a big jump, I would say on the 10-minute chart, and it's still doing this, and I'm looking at it, and it's not doing this, yeah, I'll buy it because I know right now that big jump is still trading up. Now, if I'm looking at it right here, if this was my 10-minute chart, I'm not going to buy it right now because it might be pulling back. But once I see it do this after a big price move during the day, I can be buying here because I know what pattern's setting up that it's still trading higher. Doug, if you really want to, theoretically, not theoretically, but actually, if you want to short a stock and they say they don't have it, and you really want to short it, unfortunately, probably the bigger customers have a little bit more leverage. They've got agreements with other brokerage firms to say that if they need to borrow stock from them, they can borrow it, short it to your customer or whoever's bought it, you sold it to, and then when you cover it, they return it back to that account. Usually, if it's hard to short stock, which is usually the case of stocks that don't trade a whole lot, meaning if I'm going to try to short stock, I want to see stocks that are probably trading more than 400,000 shares a day versus 200, because there's more likelihood that they've got that stock in their in somebody's margin account that they can go borrow. So anytime you see a stock that's very thinly traded, you're probably not going to be able to find the stock to short. Oh, I don't have the link to the Tuesday night sessions. Latressa, haven't. Oh, you were asking Jim that. Yeah, I've discovered that it's usually about the same length. But the important factor is if I'm buying wave 3 with the anticipation that it's this move, my main criteria is I want to own it until I see a sell signal. So my important sell factor is not the I forgot what I was saying because I was reading. Oh, it's not that it might move the same magnitude as wave 1. I'm anticipating it will, but my criteria is that next uptrend you hold until you see a sell signal. Okay. If I think this is a J-hook, I can be buying on positive trading, which means my first target is to see what it does right here. It needs to break through. If it fails here, I close out hopefully with a small profit or a break even. On the other hand, if I want to be more conservative, I buy when it comes back up through this level because that tells me wave 3 is in progress. Okay, I guess with that, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. Oops, and we in 2.8 seconds do the next double line. They jumped the gun on you, Jim, like crazy tonight. 22nd, you can make sure your volume is big on this. You can start buying this one. I would probably want to see it close above the T line. Citigroup needs to trade positive. If it opens lower and trades lower, you close it out. That means you're stuck in a downward trend channel. Tile shops, you can get ready to buy that one. That's a good looking. That's a good looking chart. With the anticipation, they're coming up to fill this gap, which kind of coincides with the 50-day moving average. Silica, if you're short, you stay short. Definitely wouldn't be long on this one. UVXY. Get ready to buy this one on positive trading. You got a little left-right combo. Sienna, another one that you can be buying. Just be cautious when it gets to the 50. Oh, short. You can short this one in weakness, yes. But you want to see some definite weakness in it. Weibo, just stay short. If you were shorting this one, I'd use today's low. If it comes down through there, they're really selling it off below the T line. And Shopify, you can buy on positive trading. Just watch to see what happens once they do get to the 50-day moving average. And Snap, I would anticipate they're at least coming back to test the 50. GCO, I think we did. Nice little scoop type pattern. You can be buying this one on positive trading. Play. This one has to open positive. If it opens lower tomorrow and you're long, close it out. It's lost its trajectory. BRTX, a left-right combo, breaking the support level. Be ready to short this one. Good possibility to come all the way back down into the trend level. BABA, same scenario. If it opens lower, the 50 is not acting as support anymore. PFPT. Bearish engulfing. You can short this one, but it just doesn't have a big trend, so you might not get a big percentage move, but you can short it on weakness. HIB, another good-looking bullish chart if it trades positive from here. Needs to get up through this level. If you're long, don't let it close below the T-line. And SORL has to open positive tomorrow also, or otherwise it's kind of gone dead. Dust, that's the short gold, the bearish gold, so that means gold on the December contract. It's picking up a little bit, but it might be heading for a wedge type formation. ABEO, you stay long, but it has to open positive and trade positive. If it starts trading lower, again, you've got kind of a wedge formation setting up. Not showing a whole lot of resiliency. MyTech, if that's a true trading, I wouldn't be long or short, but I'd definitely go long if it comes up through the day's high through the 50. That would tell you that they've wiped out a lot of sellers. LBIX, this one has to open positive and make sure your volume is pretty hefty. But notice what happened when they took it up. Brought it right back down to the T-line. Now you watch to see what happens from there. The Russell got weak today also. Be more apt to be. Make sure you have some short positions going into the portfolio on weakness tomorrow. An ERII, big long-legged doji, failure. If it starts trading below the 200, you definitely want to be out. You should have been out today and wait to see what it does from here. Not anything telling you where that you want to be in that one. Stay short on AVEO. Broke kind of the bottoms here. Yeah, sorry, can't be short. Definitely do not want to be long on this one. Cassie, you can start buying this one on positive trading. Right here at the T-line, you're seeing a few dojis. If we do ABEO, yeah, it has to open positive. SGMS, nothing here. If you were short, you would have covered your short on Friday. You don't want to be going long until they can get it up above the T-line. I think we did UVX Y. VEVE, another one where you stay long as it stays above the T-line. GOOG, next target should be the 50. They do play. Play has to open positive. We did BABA. If it opens lower, you can short it. APT, wouldn't be long or short this one. Just nothing there. Team open lower. This is a perfect example when you have a big move. The next day, if they open it lower, close it right out. You can always buy it back if it comes back up through the open. But right now, I'd be out of this one and wait to see what, I wouldn't be back in it until it comes back up through the close of Friday. Checkpoint, bearish engulfing. What did it tell us about our J-hook? It failed here. So this one you should be out of. I don't know whether I'd go short, but that wouldn't be long right now. NRZ, stay long. But same scenario. If it opens lower, it means they're stuck in this channel. Find something better or look for something short. SQRL, nope, not working. TVIX, nothing yet. If you were short, it may have covered the short position today. Wouldn't be going long until it gets up through the T-line. Micron, stay long, but it's getting stuck in here. If it opens lower, I'd close it out. It needs to break out through this level. So right now, with the market getting soggy, anything that looks doubtful has to open positive. If they start opening lower, close them out. QEP, you can be shorting this one on weakness with the anticipation of bringing it back down to test the lows. STX, if you're long, stay long. Use today's low as your stop, but anticipate a 45-degree off of here. PayPal, I'd be ready to close this one out if it opens lower tomorrow because you're back in the trend channel. And Visa, if you're long, you can stay long. You're just not going to make a whole heck of a lot of money with that one. Home Depot, you can be ready to buy this one on positive trading tomorrow. Anticipating you've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. You had wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Now I count this as wave 1, wave 2, looking for the next wave 3. Priceline, the left-right combo made this breakout doubtful. If it opens lower and I was long, I'd close out the position. Uh-oh. May have started the sneezes. Hate when that happens. Facebook you should be out of. You can see how doubtful it was getting up here. Kind of right up here at the top of the trend channel. Mercy sakes. Maybe I'm allergic to the cat. Have to get rid of the cat. Darn. So anyways, I'd have been out of Facebook because it's back in the channel. Costco, you can stay long. Anticipation 200-day moving average. TCH, you can stay long. Piercing signal. If it opens positive, anticipate they're going to come up and test the 50. Well, I'll be a son of a gun. I've just sneezed about 15 times. Darn cat. McDonald's should have been out of this one today also. Close back below the T line. this is getting bad. Zine, got the slow curve, so you're looking for this to break out of the wedge. I wouldn't be long. I'd be more apt to, uh-oh. Now, what would that be from? Where all of a sudden I've sneezed 20 times. I'd be more apt to pay for it up above this level, knowing that it broke out of the top of the wedge. Cena, if you're short, to stay short, it needs to open lower and trade lower. If it opens positive and starts trading positive, I'd cover it because that would be a good indication they're supporting on the T line. SORL. Stayed above the T line, but it has to open positive tomorrow. STI. Oh boy. Probably wouldn't be long or short this one right now. This one needed to open positive. Sorry, needed to open positive and trade. It's not telling us which way it wants to go. I'd be out of it. And TiVo, EVA, you can get ready to short this one with the kind of the evening star failure. Well, well, well. So I'd be ready to short this one on weakness, breaking this support level, right, indicating that we're heading down to this area. Cito backed off today, so it has to open positive to stay in it. If it opens lower, we can see we had a double top up there. LPTH, that's your meeting line. Notice it was unchanged on the day when it went from here to here, gapped up and came back. That's a sell signal. Be ready to close this one out on if you're long on any weakness tomorrow. Herb, my trading technique is if I have an account at whatever size, let's say it's a $500,000 account, I'm going to have 10 $50,000 positions. They're all the same because that way I've taken my emotions out of making my decision, whether buying or selling. You're buying one unit of stock. That way you can tell on a unit basis, since everything's the same, what the percentage of your profitable gains are, what the size of your profitable gains against the percentage of losing trades, and what the losing percentage of those trades are. Hopefully, using candlestick analysis, your losses are going to be small and your gains are going to be big. Kind of a doji sandwich on Las Vegas Sands. You can be buying this one on positive trading. Just use the T-line as your stop. And Wynn Resorts probably wouldn't be long or short. There's absolutely nothing there that would make that an intriguing looking chart. Another left-right combo. If this opens lower, I'd be more apt to start going short, especially if it breaks this little support level. Definitely would not be long. That's right, allergic to pullbacks. CVRR, anticipate it's coming back down here. Notice that you're bearish engulfing, even though it was a hammer type signal. When it opened lower the next day, told you they weren't following through. That's right. We're going to have a cat auction again. Lowest bidder gets the cat. That's right. Have you found it's best to trade in the direction of the market by puts or calls based upon the S&P? Yes, and that's why we do the analysis of the overall market trend. Obviously, if we're in an uptrend, we want to find the stocks or the patterns that are going to improve the best during an uptrend. If it's a downtrend, obviously the stocks that are going to move down the hardest. And if it's a sideways, that may mean I have 5 longs and 5 shorts on. Median line, not maiden line, median line. Started from here, closed here, then opened up here and came back. Notice it was unchanged on the day, so it closed right at the same level it closed the day before, but they both came together from different directions. That's called a meeting line, M-E-E-T-I-N-G. It's usually a bearish signal. Okay, we're done early tonight. That'll give you time to watch the... Is there a football game on tonight? Oh, Monday Night Football. All right, everybody. Again, remember, in 2 weekends from now, we've got the 2-day training. That is your bread and butter training. That's where you get all the information in your head so that when you come back to these type of sessions, it's not a learning session. It's kind of a confirming or just kind of solidifying what you already know. All right, everybody, have a good evening. We will see you bright and early in the morning. We'll see you then.